It's official! New York are bringing in RoboCops in order to police the population as protests become more likely. But the smart thing they've done is to persuade us that these things are actually cute little Digidogs. Hello there, you 6.4 million awakening wonders. Thanks for joining me on this voyage to truth and freedom. As the world becomes more corrupt, as the media becomes more hypocritical, as protests become more likely, the establishment is finding ingenious new ways of policing us with terrifying, aggressive robots, which are sort of posing as cute, lovable robo-dogs. Turn on the notification bell right now and subscribe to our channel. We make this content every single day and we want you to see it all. Otherwise, you'll have no choice but to accept the view of the world given to you by the mainstream media, who'll tell you that New York City is getting the privilege, the luxury of being policed by cute, friendly, lovable, soon-to-be armed Digidogs.
Robots will now take their place beside the city's men and women in blue.
CBS 2 political reporter Marsha Kramer shows us the mayor says he is combing the world for the latest technology to put the NYPD at the forefront of fighting crime.
Forefront, progressive. They're making this look like natural progress. For a little while, they've been trying to normalize those robots. They're getting us used to the idea that not only is uniformed authority able to tell us what to do, or bureaucratic information through your phone or through your letterbox or whatever, but now cyber authority is being introduced. Look at the way that the media tells you that this is not the intervention of centralized power introducing new ways to control you should you find yourself interested in challenging authority. No, this is progress. New York's always been at the vanguard. It's the greatest city in the world. Why shouldn't we be oppressing you in new and novel ways? This is being sold to you as an advance, as progress. We've already been softened up and pummeled into thinking we need this stuff. You have to be terrified to accept the way that we are governed generally. You have to believe that there are enormous threats, whether it's terrorist threat or germ threat or Russia threat. If you think that basically human beings are like you and there's a bit of good in the worst of us and a bit of bad in the best of us and we all muddle along and we can probably organize our own communities, then there's no need for them to put robot dogs on the street, cream profits off everything, set up an infrastructure where democracy is a kind of charade, where corporate and financial elites secretly run everything, not so secretly these days even. Look at the framing of this. It's important that you're told, great news everyone, there's robot dogs on the street. Of course they're going to say initially, there's no plans for them to be armed. We're never going to arm them. Yeah, of course they're going to say that. Then there'll be some other crisis because they've already made us believe it's a good thing to have robo-dog out there. And it, by the way, is not a dog, is it? Like when you think of the attributes of a dog, loyal, friendly. Dogs wouldn't have caught on as man's best friend if they were aggressive, policing bastards. From our earliest days, dogs would come by the campfire, or wolves as they were then, and they'd come there and they'd police us. Hey, what are you doing? How did you cook that antelope? Mind your own fucking business, you little bastard!
From a galaxy far away, or at least Times Square, the NYPD enters the 21st century with crime-fighting robots to patrol subway stations or the crossroads of the world.
They're all about the future. Star Wars, making it innocuous, banal, even fun. Oh wow, it's just like R2-D2. No, it's not like R2-D2. It's like the Empire. It's like you're being controlled undemocratically by centralized force. Who do you think those robots are going to work for in the event that there are massive uprisings? Do you know what's happening? It's like, hey, you know what the problem is with the military and the police force? Those people are drawn from ordinary blue-collar communities. So when it comes to it, they might think, hey, I'm not willing to shoot my children and my grandma. Robo-dog don't have that problem. Hey, didn't I throw you a robo-bone yesterday? Does not compute.
Not only does this robot sound an alarm, but it can also send messages.
Oh, great. It can scare you. It can snitch on you. Is there anything it can't do? Love you.
Yes, it can really talk, either to people who need help or to the bad guys.
Yeah, people need help. Oh, excuse me, I need some help. I was a bit free. I was doing what I wanted. Comply! Comply! And who are those bad guys? Are the bad guys whoever the state appoints that day to be bad? Or is it the people that are releasing killer robots onto your streets?
And a robotic device called a Digidog, which is designed to assist the NYPD in investigating high-risk or hazardous incidents.
We want the public to know that the use of these technologies will be transparent consistent, and always done in collaboration with the people that we serve.
Just the way things have been up till now, really. Always been pretty transparent, always a general feeling of service. The culture sets up, I think, fake arguments that we're progressing because of these technological advances. But let's not ignore the fact that what she's telling us is robot dogs are coming to police you. Why? For what reason? The most innocuous reason is it saves money because it means that a normal person can't make pay demands to fulfill that role. But at worst, it's that dog will do whatever it's programmed to do without a human conscience. That's what it's about. That's the long game here. That's not cynical conspiracy theory. Is it a conspiracy theory there was a massive wealth transfer in the last couple of years? Is it a cynical conspiracy theory that the police are being militarized all across America and much of the world? Is it a conspiracy theory that new protest laws are being introduced everywhere? Is it a conspiracy theory that the ability to surveil ordinary people, whether they've committed a crime or not, is increasing across the world? Oh wow, all these conspiracy theories come together to make one big, not a conspiracy theory and nothing to worry about, and just a dog trotting down your street shooting people.
The commissioner responding to intense community backlash the first time the NYPD tried to use the futuristic Digidog during the de Blasio administration. Some described it as a manifestation of overly aggressive police tactics used in poor communities.
Hey, this is a manifestation of overly aggressive police tactics. What about now, a couple of years later? Oh no, this is the forefront of progress now. We cannot continue to make this fantastic content without the help of our sponsors. You got to be aware that the government are prying on your activity, even now as you innocently watch this commercial. Without a VPN, the FBI could suddenly arrest you for releasing top secret material from the Pentagon. That's what that lad needed to have done. With ExpressVPN, you can freely surf the internet without worrying who's got hold of your search history and what they're going to do with that information. When you search online, watch a video or click a link, it all gets tracked by big tech companies. They can match your activity to your true identity using your device's unique IP address. When I use ExpressVPN, these companies can't see my IP address at all because my identity becomes anonymous thanks to a secure VPN server which also encrypts my data for maximum protection. And what I like most about ExpressVPN is just how easy it is to use. Just download the app on your phone or computer, tap one button and you're protected. Defend your rights with the VPN that I use for online protection. Visit expressvpn.com/brand. That's expressvpn.com/brand to get 3 extra months for free.
I believe that technology is here. We cannot be afraid of it.
Yes, we can. We can be afraid of it. Are you aware of what's going on with AI? Are you aware of how much power these things are accumulating and generating and the possibility that it's attuned to forces and powers that we will never ever be able to confront? You can tell in everything they're saying that they're trying to sort of covertly address the real problem. Look, I know what this looks like. It looks like we're putting robot dogs into the street, which will lose normal cops their jobs and prevent there being human connection between those that are being policed and the police force. Also enabling more surveillance, more power to big tech who you know you cannot trust already. I know it looks like that, but we can't be afraid of technology. Can't we? Can't we? Because, hold on, I'm going inside myself. I am afraid!
A number of groups attacked the city's latest foray into the 21st century, including Communities United for Police Reform, which said, quote, "We need to invest in housing, education, mental health care, and community programs that will keep us safe, not investment in new and expensive technologies to criminalize us further."
Brilliant. That is the argument in a paragraph. They're aware of that argument and they've made that decision. We could either give them better housing, mental health care, fairer, less unequal societies, or we could take even more money and shoot those motherfuckers with robot dogs. Oh, yeah, no, the robot dogs.
If we were not willing to move forward and use technology on how to properly keep cities safe.
Forward is a concept, by the way. It's not like there's linear time, like, oh, we gotta keep going with time. Like, where's it going? What's happening? Do you think things are improving? Like, I know people are telling, oh, the average person doesn't live on $1 a day, and back in medieval times, you had to suck on a chicken's ass to get through the afternoon. I'm aware of all of that stuff, but what I'm also aware of is a militarizing, tyrannizing, centralizing state. And we're being told that it is transparent and progressive at gunpoint.
Then you will not keep up with those who are doing harmful things to hurt New Yorkers.
That's not true, is it? There's not armies of like really progressive technological gangsters. Okay, look at what we got now. We're running these protection rackets. Also, we got this fucking terrifying little gangster robot. Give me 10% of your income as I shoot you down. Are you laughing at me like I'm a clown? There's not robot Goodfellas out there. The forces of evil and the forces of crime are not invested in technology. Look at the framing we have to accept. That the state is there to protect you. It is not. Technology is inherently a good thing. It is not. Progress means more technology. It does not. There are so many things that we accept, that there aren't different ways to improve communities, that there aren't massive conversations to be had about how communities are run. All of this is being bypassed essentially by a shiny robot. And then people are so terrified and sort of bludgeoned with stupidity that they'll probably applaud that fucking thing and give it a parade. New York City Mayor Eric Adams and the NYPD have reintroduced the Digidog. I'm not going to call it a dog. It's a robot policeman. It's not even a robot policeman. It's a cyborg. It's a law cyborg. It's a law force cyborg. A $74,000 robot that resembles a dog, except in the traits of loyalty, kindness, friendliness, and warmth, which was paused by the previous mayor. Whoa, we better pause this. People fucking hate it. It was retired after civil rights advocates also deemed it aggressive policing. That's why, because people went, hold on a minute, these robots coming into people's houses, is this right? Oh shit, no, they've noticed. No, yeah, we'll stop that for a couple of years till you're poorer and more desperate. A few loud people were opposed to it and we took a step back. That is not how I operate, Mayor Adams said at a press briefing. Loud people? That's protesters. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, just loud people opposed to tyranny. They seem to be quiet now, since we shot him. Bring on the cyborg dog! NBC New York notes that the robot's use is being pushed through despite widespread public objections. People don't want it. People do not want RoboCop on the street. Perhaps because they've seen the film RoboCop. This announcement is another example of the NYPD's violation of basic norms of transparency and accountability by rolling out these technologies without providing the public a meaningful opportunity to raise concerns, the Legal Aid Society is quoted as saying, in objection to the move. We've been through defund the police, we've been through the hatred of the police, now we're saying it's progress to turn the police into robots. Another piece of tech called the K5 autonomous security robot is also being rolled out alongside the quadrupedal robot, which NBC New York reports uses artificial intelligence to provide incident notification in real time to first responders. That's surveillance. Surveillance robots on the streets watching you and then grassing you up to the authorities, you know, because you're a criminal or maybe you're just doing something that the state objects to, and will be used to conduct automated patrol in confined areas both indoors and outdoors, such as transit stations. Every objection to police militarization as a dangerous slippery slope has been 100% vindicated by history, and there's no reason to expect that to change as they start rolling out cop bots. As John Anisha Whitehead explained last year for the Rutherford Institute, this ongoing expansion of police robot militarization tracks alongside the steadily increasing militarization of police forces in the US more generally. SWAT teams first appeared in California in the 1960s. By 1980, the US was seeing 3,000 SWAT team style raids per year, and by 2014, that number had soared to 80,000. It's probably higher now. In order to continue to fund the cyborg dog cop, they will have to demonstrate that it's valuable and therefore show that it's being used in arrests and, oh, this neighborhood's 10% more successful or whatever. So once they introduce it, it never goes backwards. Since the dawn of history, rulers have dreamed of having mindless, obedient soldiers who will never turn against them, will never disobey orders, and will never hesitate to attack the civilians of their own country when told to do so. Cop bots are the final solution to the ancient problem that there are always a whole lot more ordinary people than there are rulers, because once they're fully militarized and fully rolled out, they can be used to subdue a population of any size. Cop bots are the anti-guillotine. When there are these uprisings in France and Sri Lanka and the Netherlands, in the US, when people are less and less satisfied with their government, more and more cynicism about inequality, about corruption in media and government, you could either create a fair and more just democratic society, or you could send robots with guns out onto the street. What do you think's more likely given this news story? Let me know in the chat and the comments. Now the Oakland Police Department is pushing for the use of robots armed with shotguns. Police have already used a robot armed with a bomb to kill a suspect in Texas. Like all escalations in police powers and police police militarization, the increasingly widespread use of police killbots will be justified in the name of saving lives and protecting law enforcement officers, but we'll certainly see a rise in abuses of the new power. More importantly, at least in the long term, once armed robots are being used to police civilian populations, the powerful will have made the possibility of a people's revolution against them far more remote. So democracy doesn't work, protest doesn't work, surveillance is now possible, omni-surveillance almost, and now we have an armed police force of killer robot dogs. What's the way out now? How are you going to vote your way out of this one? Flesh and blood armed police will hesitate to fire upon their countrymen in a domestic uprising. They can be persuaded to side with the people and oust the sitting government. They have beating hearts and aren't covered in armour. AI-guided weapons robots are not yet enforcing the rule of law in our streets, but that does appear to be where we're headed. And once we're there, it's entirely possible that the door to revolution will have been bolted shut for good. If that's the case, then it's no exaggeration to say that humanity is in a race between A, a revolution against the status quo power structures which are oppressing and exploiting us while driving us towards disaster, and B, the ubiquity of armed police units. Our rulers keep incrementally pacing us into accepting this in the same way they pace us into accepting internet censorship, whistleblower persecution, and the war on journalism. And you can think of examples of each of those. Whistleblowers who reveal information being smeared and dissenting voices being controlled, surveillance being increased, police being militarized, new protest laws, totally immersive surveillance. All of these things are on the rise. Even if you happen to agree with the government in your country now, and I bet you don't, let me know in the chat and the comments, surely you see now that this creates the possibility for a corrupt, centralized dictatorship to take total control of your country and ultimately the world. We have to oppose measures like this while they're small enough to be crushed. Otherwise, we may never get the chance again. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments in the chat. If you enjoyed this video, have a look at either of these. Turn on the notification bell. We make these videos every single day. But more important than any of that, please stay free.